Well, hello. Okay, so it's been maybe 6 weeks or so since I've been on. And that's for a pretty good reason. There's a lot of full moon energy that was going on. There was different things going on within my own life that I needed to resolve and take grip of. I went to visit one of my mentors, Joseph Agru, who's an awesome healer. If you're down in Hico, Texas, Hico, Texas, or near Fort Worth, Dallas area. Went down with him and his beautiful wife Rhonda for a week and had an awesome time. Actually got out and did some physical work, did some hiking, and so on and so forth. And it was something that I needed to give away. So, not give away. I had to get away. But, so I want to explain to you why and what happened. Like I said, there was a lot of different things that were going on that I needed to deal with personally. And sometimes you need to take a sabbatical in order to get yourself clear. And part of the reason for going to Texas was for a vision quest. And I've gained that. And no matter what happens in your life, you're going to know when a situation comes along or a point in your life that is fate in which you're given the opportunity to do something, and regardless of what anybody thinks or what is happening in your life, you need to go do it. And that's what I did when I went to see Joseph. And he's an awesome teacher, he's an awesome healer, and he's an awesome mentor to me. We had an instant connection from the moment we met 6 or 7 years ago. And he always said that it was his spiritual paradise. And I found out that was very true. From literally within an hour of getting there, after traveling for a day and a half, I kind of chilled out and got the understanding of what it was all about for me. That I was in from the Native American side, there's a medicine wheel, and I was brought to the center of that wheel. It had given me an instant peace. It had given me clarity and so much more. And so what I want to do in this video, I know my last promise to you in video number 11, I believe it was, and this is number 12, that I was going to tell you about the souls, and immediately after this, I'm going to do that. But I wanted to explain to you, because this is something we all have to do. And so anyway, I got down there on a Monday evening. I left Sunday around 1 o'clock from Pittsburgh, drove down and got there, I think it was 4 o'clock their time. And we greeted each other, and, it was really nice and all. But there was a tree that was literally next to his house. Now, his wife had lived there all of her life. And I got an instant sense of belonging, if you will, when I was there. So to make a long story short, his wife Rhonda had showed us some other places that she had gone that she felt really connected with. And there was another one in a property on the ranch next to it that this tree was over 350 years old. An arborist from Texas State University came out and said it was 450, but when I connected with it, it said it was only 350 years old. It was so beautiful because this particular tree was so large, and the branches were the size of a normal tree, and yet it folded over and touched the ground and then came back up. It was like a canopy, and it had this opening to it, and it was so gorgeous. So anyway, this was just one of the places, and then of course, like I said, there was the tree that was literally next to their house. It was a log cabin. It was beautifully built, and it was awesome. Of course, they have live chickens for laying eggs. They have meat chickens. They have the 5 dogs, which all have different personalities, which was really fun. And of course, their garden. It's just, I can't explain this place. It was so beautiful and so full of life. So anyway, there were other places within it. There was a tree that we had gone to that were 3 trees that came out of the trunk and literally looked straight up like this. They were all together. And then right next to it, within actually under 10 feet, was another one that was 5, and they looked like this, like a hand that came out of the base, out of the trunk. And then there was another place, and another place, and another place. But this one place, that was the tree that was next to the house, was even more so interesting, because I could watch the sun come up in the mornings, because I was on a different time zone than they were. And then we could also gather around the fire and watch this beautiful sunset that was a part of it as well. And the whole time, I realized I didn't have any sense of sickness or pain or discomfort compared to being here in Pittsburgh with certain situations, including my job. And it was inspiring. I did a drum for Joseph and had it done in like a day and a half, which I'd never done before. There's so much that I experienced, but here's and this kind of has to do with the soul groups and soul families and such that I'm going to talk about in the next video, because in that particular part of Texas, it was an hour and a half southwest of Fort Worth. And what I discovered was that it was a gathering place. It was a multifaceted, what's the word I'm looking for? It was just non-specific to tribes or cultures or anything else, that they were all gathered there. The thing that I got was there were tribes from the north, there was tribes from the west, like the Apache and the Comanche. There were tribes from the south, from Mexico. There were tribes from the east, like the Homa from Louisiana. And think about it, that's a long way to travel back in the day when there was no current mode of transportation. But the glorious, loving part that I felt was that it was all part of a multicultural site in which the males, the elders, and older males would gather under the tree where I had coffee every morning. The women would gather where I spoke of on the next property, where there was a beautiful canopy of the trees. And to me, that was like the womb of Mother Earth, represented in that way to protect the women in their femininity, which I thought was, I could feel it. It was really cool. And so there were other gathering places for other purposes. And if there were disputes or arguments or tradings to take place, or the exchange of information or whatever, that's where it took place. Now, you have to understand that this particular ranch that I was on, Coyote Ridge, was only 15 acres. But the area that we expanded into was much more. And it was probably, it doesn't sound like a lot until you have to walk it, but probably a 5 square mile area. And that's what I felt. It was almost like a dome, that dome of peace and protection and harmony and unity, that whenever people came there, and this went back hundreds of years. So if you go to someplace like, the Four Corners or the mountains in Ohio or anywhere else that's important to you, or other sacred places, this particular spot was a sacred place. And I knew it. I connected with certain guides and such, and gathered certain information that I might or might not share in the future. I probably will, because it's prevalent, but I just wanted to let you know that I'm holding myself responsible for keeping up this video series, the Simple Man video series, to help and educate and enlighten and awaken others. And that's exactly what I'm doing. I will not tell you what you want to hear. I will tell you what you need to hear. Part of being a holistic healer is doing just that. If I don't have a message for you at a particular space and time, then you're not supposed to hear it. But if you are, then you will. I've gotten in contact with a certain amount of friends here and there that when I am given a message, I either call them or message them or email them or something. They're not my clients, they're just other spiritual friends. And it seemed to come around to me as well. But I want you to understand that I'm giving my complete attention and priorities to all of this now. It's not that I wasn't before, it's just now it's more focused, let's say. And so I just wanted to put this out there and let y'all know that I'm going to be doing more videos as I'm inspired, and I don't care where I'm at or what I'm doing or how I look, because that was a concern of mine too, putting up this image kind of thing. And you know what, that's bullshit too. I don't think you guys are going to look at me as in, oh, he doesn't look right today, or blah 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 blah, right? It's all about getting a message out to you. That's what's real. And sometimes you have to wake up in the morning. This is something else my elders told me. I had one that told me, you have to get up in the morning, the very first thing, and take on your ego. And some days you might have to do it all fucking day long. Wake up in the morning and start all over again. Well, it happens. It's a part of the soul evolution. So, I was inspired. There's a couple of more things that came out of this beautiful Vision Quest to Texas. And I really enjoyed myself. Got to stop off. I'm a car guy. Got to stop off at the National Corvette Museum in Bowling Green, Kentucky. Stopped off at Gas Monkey in Dallas and did some other things, And that's what the message I'm always going to give out to you guys is: dare to dream, go out and have some fun, make life enjoyable. And when you get to the point that you don't find life enjoyable, that you lose your dream, you lose your dancing in life and enjoying it, and you lose your humor like I began to, that's when you need to just pull back, say, everybody go fuck off, I'm out. And I went to Texas, and you know what, face your fears and do it. That's what I'm doing right now, and all I can do is to tell you guys you need to do the same thing. Because that's the only way you're going to be a free spirit. That's the only way you're going to enjoy life. If you feel trapped because of life circumstances, it's your own fault. And, I'm preaching to the choir here because I'm telling you the same fucking things that I've been telling myself and teaching for years, and then I find, Spirit brings it around and says, all right, here it is. You're telling these people this stuff. You know this. Now you got to live it to go out and share it. Because that's what Spirit has always done. Spirit has always, the universe, God, Creator, whatever you want to say, has always put me in a situation where, okay, you know this, now we're going to test you. And they do. And it's a bizarre trip. But I'm good with it now. Once you get through a certain experience in your life, you're okay with it. All right. So anyway, I'm going to move on directly into the next video about souls. So catch this one as soon as it comes up. I love you. Dare to dream. Be a free spirit. Follow your own heart. Take care.